This is the worst investment I've ever made. This is a razor blade stealth. Mind you, I have had the thing for like 3 years, but it is on its last legs. This thing lags so much when I'm trying to edit. Like it fucking, I mean, look how small it is. Do you really think that's gonna be powerful enough to edit everything that I need? Premiere, Photoshop, Lightroom, transferring files. This thing's just not powerful enough. And it's had its day. Obviously, I'm in the market to get a new laptop, and of course, I'm looking at a Mac because, you know, when it comes to doing editing and photoshopping and all that kind of shit, a Mac usually runs the best, right? But, God damn it, why is it so expensive? Why do you have to it doesn't need to be that expensive. Anyway, until I stop being such a fucking pussy and just buy the thing, we're just gonna have to put up with this for now, right? So, if I snap my laptop halfway through this editing tutorial, or it might just work out for this editing tutorial, I don't know. But today I thought you and me, I thought we could sit down together and we could learn how to edit some street photos. Okay, so we've opened up Lightroom here, and immediately I want to change this image already, so I'm gonna come into the crop tool, and I'm just gonna crop it so we've got a nice 50-50 even split. I don't want to have this car in the shot as well. Now that we've got the composition set, we're gonna bring up the exposure quite a bit so we can see what we're working with here. As usual, highlights down, shadows up, whites, hold Alt, and then see what whites there are, and we're just gonna clip it just so the whites clip a tiny bit down there. So, and then bring the blacks down as well. So now the image looks like fucking vomit, but that's okay because we're gonna change it all anyway. Let's bring some shadows back in, so just go blop and fucking put that shit back in. We're gonna bring the highlights down out of here as well because this is our light source of the image, right? So this is where we want the light to come from to sort of make the image glow. Let's add a tiny bit of clarity into the shot as well, probably about 25%, looks pretty good. Bit of vibrance can come into the shot. Alright, let's play around with some of our colors now as well. Obviously these greens inside the tram is disgusting, so let's take some greens out of the picture here. So we're gonna draw a bit of the saturation down. We're also gonna bring some of the luminance up as well. Bring the yellows across to a bit more orange because I like how the oranges look. I don't really like how the yellows look on these trams in particular. So bring the yellows across, probably about 40% is pretty good. And also bring the luminance up on them as well, just to bring out some of the detail out of the color. And then pretty much you just want to fuck around with the rest of the colors until you get what you're happy with. Now let's work on the light source of the image. So we're going to press Shift M, or you can come over to your radial filter here. It is called a radial filter, yeah? So we're going to click on that and we're going to draw a big, nice, overly circular thingo. We're gonna bring the highlights down, the exposure up, and the oranges across to create that sunset vibe, feel, look to it, you know what I mean? What does it look like if we bring it up? Oh, maybe I like that better. I don't know now. Oh, maybe I do. Yeah, maybe I like the full shot better. Oh, fuck this. I'm sorry, guys. We kind of fucked up here. I like this way better. I think that looks sick. Yeah, I'm a fucking idiot for cropping it before. I don't know why I did that. This looks way better.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Well, that changes everything. Ah, fuck. I fucked it. It doesn't matter. We're going to come over to the radial filter again. We're going to draw a nice big circle over the tram here. We're going to bring the exposure up on the tram. I do this in every single one of my photos. You create a focal point around your subject every time. That's what you want to be doing. So you want to bring that radial filter into there and bring the exposure up just a little bit. Bring the shadows out of it because we want this, obviously it's got to be a subject focus, so it's got to be well lit. A bit more clarity, highlights down because you want to see a bit of the inside of the tram there. And we want to see the writing up the top here and all the lights and everything. Now this is the most important step. You right click, you duplicate, uninvert this layer. And then you bring the exposure down and bring this around so it's, maybe bring it out a bit so we can feather it a bit more. Fuck, this is looking really good. If you press O, you can see what it affects actually. On the radial filter that affects everything except for your subject, I like to bring the tones down a little bit more if I'm going for a darker feel to it. You can bring it up if you want that warmer vibe to it, if you want that more summer vibe to it, but I hate that shit. So I'm gonna bring the tones down towards the blues. All right, it's looking sick, but I don't like the blues on the tram here. I'm sorry, this Mikey ready before you're bored. Get your Mikey ready. Like, what kind of ad is this, by the way? Look at this fucking guy. Tram coach. What, they're fucking mechanical objects, mate. How do you coach a tram? And look at this old fuck. Yeah, I've got me Mikey. Got a touch on. Yeah, anyway. Let's desaturate this ad, I don't like it. Alright, now let's fuck with the tone curve a bit. So, we're not gonna put too much fade in the image, just a tiny bit up, and the tiniest bit across, but not too much at all. Let's see what looks better if we bring down the highlights or if we wanna bring them up. Yeah, we wanna bring them up a bit. When you just bring up that top bit with the tone curve, just gives a bit more of a kick into your tones. Well, because we fucked the image earlier with that crop, I think that's the before shot. And that's what we've made it into, which looks amazing, honestly. You could even drop that a little bit more, just to put an even more subject focus on the image. So what we do that in? We did that in 15 minutes. Fuck, I'm getting quick at doing these editing tutorials now, man. I gotta say, when I first did my first editing tutorial, I mean, that was a fucking tragedy. But now, I'm getting a bit better at them. So, I hope you did enjoy this video. I hope I taught you something new. If you did like this video, leave a like down below and help me out by hitting subscribe. But with that all said and done, I will see you next time.